Hello lovely people, welcome back again. Okay, so today I thought we'd work a little bit more with balance. So this is going to be a really nice cruisy sort of workout where we're not going to be jumping around or getting our heart rates up or anything like that, but you should still feel a little bit in the legs. Now, you might want a chair just to make things a little bit easier, particularly if you do find that the balance is a little bit challenging for you. And to be honest, it is for all of us a lot of the time. So, okay, we may as well get started. So just beginning, I'm going to start with a little bit of a yoga start. So you can roll your head a couple of times. One way then the other. Just being really gentle with it. And coming to a rest. Feeling your tummy muscles pulling in, and then coming in and up, pulling right up behind your belly button, along the spine. A couple of deep breaths. And we're just beginning to bring ourselves onto the mat. So you might want to close your eyes for this. And just letting go of outside distractions. And inhale, you can roll your hands forward, shoulders open. Relaxing into the exhale. And inhale, the crown of the head rises. On the exhale, holding that position, feeling the length in your spine. Inhaling, chest expands. Exhaling, relaxing. And just give yourself a moment to check in with your body. See where the areas of tension are, areas of tightness. Then you can open your eyes and just choose a little gazing point somewhere, something that you can be looking at that's going to help you keep, it's just a little reference so you can see when you're moving out of balance. And then we're going to begin just by doing a little circle with just our body. Our feet stay solid on the ground, so you can peel your toes up. You can make sure all four corners of your feet are pushing down, but your toes aren't gripping. So all through this, you should be able to lift your toes. And then we're just going to rock forwards and to the side, back, other side, and forwards. And let's reverse that. So we're still leaning forwards a little bit. So your weight will be in your toes here. It's a bit impossible not to, but you're not gripping. And off to the side, keeping your eye on that gazing point, a little bit back. So this isn't a big exaggerated movement, like, whoa! We're just going little moves. And all we're doing is we're finding our center of gravity. So we're finding where, when we've got our tummy tight and our back's nice and straight, where we naturally come to rest. And let's reverse. We'll go the other way. Still being aware of your breathing. And coming to center. You can give yourself a little shake out, just gently. And then, maybe with your chair, if you need to. This is a really light chair, I hope I don't have to actually lean on it. And using the leg that's closest to the chair. So we're going to start with the left leg standing. Right leg is going to lift. And our weight's just going to come onto our left leg here. Tummy's tight. And the heel's just floating off the ground. But my toes, there's no weight in them. The weight stays in the standing leg. And in that standing leg, you should still be able to take your toes off the floor. So that weight's in the four corners So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's the ball of your foot and the heel of your foot as opposed to your toe. And your other leg's just floating. And you can lean a little bit if you want, but try and stay really steady. Tummy's tight. So that hand's just resting, that toe's just resting. I'm just going to stay here for a moment. Just breathing. And if you're feeling a little bit brave, you can close your eyes and see how that feels. Now some of you might have fantastic balance and this is just really easy. So you can pull your foot right off the ground, you can get rid of the chair, you can do whatever you want with that one. But otherwise, just standing. Make sure that knee's not locked either on the standing leg. So you're just lifting up through the quadriceps, bending the knees slightly. Good. Excellent. You can relax, you can shake that standing leg out a little bit. And then you can turn around, or in my case, because I have a really light chair, I'll just spin it around the other side. So, same thing. Let's find our balance. That hand's just resting lightly. Taking our weight into our right leg now. Little softness in the knee, pulling up through the quadriceps, lifting that kneecap. And let's float the left foot. Now you can be mirroring me, don't worry about right or left, we're going to do both sides. All you want is the leg that's closest to the chair is going to be lifted, and the other leg's your standing leg. And like I said, this foot can stay on the ground, and all you're doing is bringing that weight into the standing leg. You want to start small with this. Keeping your hips level so you're not off to the side or clinging onto the chair. You're doing it really gently, everything's small movements. Tummy pulling up and in. And good. Excellent. Let's shake that out a little bit. Okay, cool. So, going back to the first side again. And obviously you can just swap around. You don't actually have to be swapping the chair each time. Shoulder back and down, tummy tight. We're going to try and take that leg a little higher this time. Same thing, standing leg, make sure the toes aren't gripping, a little softness. Let's float it up. Now if you can, come right off the toes. This can be quite hard, particularly if you don't have a lot of muscle up here. So just rest the toes on the floor. Squeezing through the tummy, staying nice and straight, don't let yourself swing. Straight all the way, it's all coming from the tummy. Keeping your eye on your gazing point. Now if this is a little bit tough, what you can do is swap around instead. So you'd actually be lifting the outside leg now, and you can hold onto your trousers, and that just gives it a little bit of a lift, helping you out. Or you can have a little strap around a scarf or a belt, something like that, and you can hold there. But if you can, because it's going to work on the muscles of your leg as well, holding there. Don't do the twist to hold because you'll put your back out. So we won't put your back out, but it's not pretty for your back. And just holding up there. So while we're doing this, we're strengthening our leg as well. Now, if you can, just lift your hand just a little bit. Holding there, you can pop your toes back down, touch them to the floor if you're a bit worried about your balance. But if you can, we're going to try and have both toes and hand off. Just briefly. We'll pop it down. Swapping sides. Same thing. And give your legs a little shake out. Let's go back to the other side. So now our right leg's our standing leg. Nice deep breath. And let's float those toes. So make sure your standing leg, little softness in the knees, nice strong quadriceps, toes aren't gripping. Lifting leg, just the toes touching and then taking it right off if you can, using those muscles to lift. Not slouching, standing nice and straight. Remembering that trick where you can have the chair over on this side and you can use this hand to hold onto your trousers and just give it a little lift if you need to. You're still challenging your balance. You're not going to be using your quadricep muscles as much, but you will still be using it to assist your arm because your leg's actually quite heavy, so to hold that up, so you will still work it even if you're assisting with your hand. And if you can, floating the hand and the foot. Taking your time, keeping that chair nice and close or the wall nice and close, whatever you're using. Holding there. Fantastic. Let's let it go. Shaking out. Excellent. Okay, so what we're going to try now is we're going to start off without the chair. So, chair's there, hands just above it, so you can grab it anytime you need to. Same thing, standing leg, outside leg, all four corners are down, toes aren't gripping, softness in the knee, nice and straight, float. And just holding here. Again, this might be really easy for you, in which case bring that leg up higher. If you can extend it, and that's really going to work the quad muscles here. But you've always got a hand can come down any time. Holding there. It's fantastic. Keeping going. Don't worry if you fall. I pretty much fall all the time when I'm doing balancing stuff, particularly if I'm talking. I just get distracted. And relaxing down. Let's swap. And again, hands just over. Releasing those toes up. And float the leg if you can. And again, you can be holding that up, but if so, you want the chair on that side so you can grab it if you need to. If you've got a bit more strength in that leg, lift up and a bit more balance. Fantastic. Dropping it down, shaking out. Okay, so keeping the chair kind of off to the side now. Maybe something a little bit different. So you have your shoulders back and down, tummy muscles are nice and tight. We're going to step back, and we're going to stand with our left leg, all four corners of the foot down, and lift the other leg. Now your hands can bend as you do this, and you might find you're only going to come to here, and that's absolutely fine. All you're doing is lifting that leg, you're still working with your balance. If that's as high as you can lift your back leg, or as high as you're comfortable with it, that's great. Just try taking your hands off, popping them back down, off and back down. If you've got a bit more flexibility, a bit more strength in your back, because this one can really get your back. Get a bend forward. Now here my tummy's really squeezing in, really, really lifting. Still got my hands here in case I need to grab the chair. And that's about as far as I'm going to go. Little bend in the standing leg. Really nice straight back. So I'm not doing this because then your tummy's not doing the work, your back's doing the work. Nice strong chest. And you probably feel this is working your back a wee bit, but it should also be working your tummy. And let's come down. Excellent. Shake it out. And we'll do the same on the other side. Now with any of these, stop and go back to the previous ones and keep practicing them again, because obviously these are getting more advanced as we go along. And yeah, just want to be careful with yourself, as always. Tight tummy. Hands ready to grab or even leaning on it already. And a little bend forward. Softness in that knee, nice tight tummy, and lifting that back leg. Now if you're quite flexible, you can probably come right down like this and have your hands off there. But always making sure that you're feeling it in your tummy, you're really working that stomach to hold you up. If your back's really going, oh, this is hard work, come back down, straighten up a little bit. It means your back's not ready for it yet, or rather your tummy's not ready for it yet because your back's doing the work. As you can see, I'm grabbing hold here and there. Holding. And again, remember, even if you're here, you're still challenging your balance because you're working on that one leg. So don't be afraid to start with really small motions with this. It's all working. And coming to a stop. Lovely. Shaking it out. Let's take this back over this side. And how are we doing? Yes, we're going to do one final one. So the dreaded tree, or the wonderful tree from yoga. Right. So in this case, starting with that outside leg down, left foot down, all four corners of the feet. Make sure you're not gripping. Little softness, strong quads. We're going to turn that inside foot out. Nice and straight. And then you can keep your toes on the floor and just put the ankle against your, no, put the heel against your ankle, that's the one. And you can stay right there and practice lifting your hand. If you're a little bit more balanced, you can bring it up onto your shin bone. And again, your hands there. When you're really confident with your balance, bring your hands to prayer. But for now, just keeping that extra hand there. Other hand there. Okay, if this is easy for you, you can bring your leg further up, but not onto your knee, because that puts too much pressure on the knee joint on the left leg. So if you were to do that, you'd want to pull the foot right up into the thigh, knees still pressing out, hand goes back or into prayer, and you're holding there. But if your foot's going to be pressing onto your knee, just keep it lower. You're still challenging the balance. Keep that knee pressing out. Hand ready. Fantastic. Keep breathing. Keep looking at your little focus point. You should feel that the legs are working a little bit through all of this as well. And release. A little shake out. Let's go back to the other side. One final one. So, right leg standing. All four corners of the feet are down. Nice and straight. Tight tummy. Lifting up through the tummy. Float that heel off the ground. Knee comes out. And that heel can rest on the ankle with the toes on the floor. Make sure a softness in that knee. Nice and straight. Hands coming to prayer. So you can practice just taking your hand off there. Maybe even bring it to prayer if you're feeling fairly comfortable with that. Or bring it up a little bit further. And you can literally have it just off the ground here, so you're still against the ankle. Knees coming back. Make sure you're not pushing into the ankle, your toes should be just touching the floor. Or a little bit higher. Tight tummy, shoulders back and down. Holding just a little bit longer. Wobbling. And releasing. Excellent. So that's a first little video on balance. We're going to do more as we go along, but it's a great way to start, is not being afraid to use the props, not being afraid to use walls or benches or chairs, whatever you've got, and just doing it bit by bit. And just remembering with those ones where you are bending, you can start here. And that's working just fine. Just make sure you've got a nice straight line from heel to shoulders. And that's a really good start, and you're going to feel your tummy muscles starting to engage right there. And that's all. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me again, and we shall see you next time.